Hey friends, how are you guys doing today? I hope you're doing so well. Welcome back to another thrifty video. Today we're taking a look back on what I sold online last month on all of my different platforms. I'm a full-time clothing reseller on Poshmark, eBay, Mercari, whatnot, and Depop. I think that's all of them. I also do occasional direct to viewer sales as well, but majority of my money comes from selling on those platforms. So with the largest of those two being Poshmark and eBay. Now, I started off as a Poshmark reseller, and then I started using Vendoo and cross-listing to lots of different platforms, and it's gotten my business where it is today, where I go thrifting, I pick up pieces to resell, show you guys them, and then I resell them. So super exciting, but we're looking at February 2025. We're gonna take a look at my overall sales, and I'm also gonna share with you guys the things that sold for the most money, because I had 2 sales over $300 this month, as well as many pieces that sold for $50 or above. And that's gonna be really evident too in my average sales price. This month, I only sold 49 items, but each item on average sold for over $50. So almost a $60, $57.34 average sales price. So that gave me in total sales over $3,000 of sales. So I had $3,000 of total sales this month, and that is with me working full-time in the reselling space, but mostly half and half, divided between selling and YouTube. And so kind of divided time here. Making $3,000 in sales for half of what I do for work, I think is great. So very pleased with that. But let's jump into some of these high sales and these really great brands that I picked up and great pieces that sold for so much money. And I want to share those with you so that way you guys can recognize them while you're out thrifting, and then you can pick them up and resell them for a great profit too. So if that sounds good and you guys like these types of videos, then make sure to hit the subscribe button, because I make one of these videos every single month. So the first piece that sold for 50 bucks was this pair of Allen Edmonds, and Allen Edmonds makes amazing shoes. They also make clothing. I love selling their shoes. This was a pair of tasseled Oxford shoes in dark brown leather. They were size 10.5, sold for $50 on Poshmark, and then we made $40 after our fees. Next up, another great sale is this pair of Jeffrey Campbell Road Rage lace-up chunky boots. They were in khaki green. These also sold for $50 on Poshmark, and we made $40. Now, these I got in the Goodwill outlet. So I picked these up for my cost of goods being about $3. And so we made $37 of profit on those shoes. Next up is this Rowback size medium Riva striped performance Q-zip pullover. This is a menswear brand that does incredibly well for me. Rowback is one of those brands that just sells really fast. It was on my brands list of fast selling brands. It's a really good one to know. And this sold within, I think, 1 day, maybe 2 at the max. For 50 bucks on Poshmark again. So then from $50, we make 40, which is awesome. Next up is this Rebel by Durango men's 12-inch Weston cowboy boots in brown leather, men's size 11 extra wide. Again, I picked these up. I think these ones came from a local Goodwill. And again, these sold for $50. And so we made $40 after fees. And I believe I picked those up at a Goodwill for right around $10. Then another bins find, this pair of Doc Martens sold on eBay for 50 bucks to a viewer. So thank you again so much for purchasing these. They were the size 6, 1460 smooth leather lace-up boots in cherry red. Super exciting. Anytime I find Doc Martens in the Goodwill outlet, I always get jazzed, because it's so much cheaper to buy shoes there than most other places around me. And so I paid about $3 for these. They sold for $50 on eBay, and we made $42.24. So right around $39 net profit after fees. And this was my first sale on eBay out of the ones so far. And in the shocking turn of events, I used to be just a Poshmark girly, guys. I only sold on Poshmark. That was it for me. This is the first month since I've started reselling that I made more money on eBay than I did on Poshmark, which is wild. If you would have told me that a few years ago, I would not have believed you, because eBay seemed like a conundrum to me that I could not figure out. And with the help of today's sponsor, I've actually been able to do super well selling on it. So thank you so much to Vendoo for sponsoring this portion of today's video. And also, honestly, for just revamping and redoing and making how I do my business so much better. Vendoo is such an easy way to take your business to the next level. Not only can you cross-list pieces to multiple different marketplaces, they also just unveiled that they are putting Vinted on their marketplaces that you can cross-list to and list on onto, which if you are a Vinted seller, how easy does that make your life if you could just take your things from Vinted and put them straight onto Facebook Marketplace or Poshmark or eBay or Mercari. There's so many amazing ways to make good money in this business. And a lot of the ways that you can really step up how much you make each month is by listing on more than one website, because each site, each selling website really does have a different clientele and it reaches different people. So I have really seen that affecting my sales this month, and that eBay really just kind of jumped up there and is now my leading marketplace. And I literally wasn't even listing on eBay over a year ago. So absolutely crazy. And I also so appreciate that Vendoo has automatic sale detection and delisting, so that if something sells on one site, it'll be taken down from the other sites, which literally gives me so much peace of mind, because that is my chief concern in cross-listing, is that what if I sell something on Poshmark, but then I also sell it on eBay and then I get a ding on my account because I have to cancel a sale? I love that Vendoo takes care of that for me. Gives me so much peace of mind. So if you guys want to try out Vendoo, if you use my link down below, you will get 25% off your first month. And it's so worth a try, right? Like, what's the worst you can do? Try and see if it works for you. And I think it really will. If you guys want to use Vendoo and bring your business to the next level, use my link. It does help to support my channel when you do use that link. So thank you guys so much. But back into the next piece, which is another eBay sale, coincidentally. This is a pair of Hoka's, these men's Arahi 6 wide blue and white sneakers. These were a men's size 14, extra wide. So I knew that was a good size and that would probably help it sell. And these did sell on eBay for 50 bucks. And that was a great sale. I love selling Hoka's. Next up is this pair of Palmer Attitudes Luxe Printed Floral Ballet Flats in a soft pink floral, size 8.5. These were really cute. I got these at my local Goodwill. I believe these were, I think, $7.99, around $7 for these, and they sold for $50. There's a lot of $50 sales this month, but a lot that are above it too. After fees, we made $42.79, which is wonderful. That means we made right about $35 of profit. Next piece is something I picked up at a garage sale. It's this Lily Pulitzer Luxletic Miesha Scallop Skirt. It's a white tennis skirt, an extra small. And I really felt like because it was an extra small, it sat for longer than it would have if it was a bigger size. But it did sell on eBay for $51. From $51, I think I paid, I want to say $5 for this. What we made after fees was $47, so right around probably about 40 bucks of net profit at the end of the day. Then we had a Mercari sale this month, guys. Shockingly, I didn't sell anything on Mercari or Depop last month. And then this month on Mercari, I think I sold 2 things and I sold 1 thing on Depop, so that's great. This was a North Face Denali jacket. I love selling these jackets. They sell for me consistently for around 50 bucks. This one was the same thing, a size medium. This one was in black. I got this in, I believe, the Goodwill outlet. I'm pretty sure I paid like $2 for this. Sold for $52 on Mercari. We made $45.96. So $42, $43 of net profit. Next up, this Lululemon Rise and Shine jacket, Define Camouflage in a size 12. I got this the same day I found all of those designer pieces on a new rack. Do you guys remember that when I found all those Brooks Brothers suits, which I actually finally got listed today as I'm filming this? I found that jacket on that rack. I paid $4.99, I believe, for that. And it sold for $55. So this Lululemon jacket, $55. It's an older style, size 12 though, and it sold for $55. I made $44, so about $40 of net profit. Then we have this Nordstrom Signature 100% cashmere sweater, size extra small. Still, even though it's a size extra small, which is small, and a lot of people steer away from picking up sizes that are small like that. I find that for this brand, Nordstrom Signature, it does well pretty much no matter what size it is, but especially if it's 100% cashmere, they sell like that. I don't know why, but this sold, I think, the same day, if not the next day, for full asking price on Poshmark. So 60 bucks, we made 48, and I paid $4.50 for this piece. So $44 of net profit. Another North Face piece has made it into the top sales of the month. This is a vintage 90s Gore-Tex Mountain Blue parka jacket in a size medium. Another Goodwill outlet, another Goodwill bins pickup. I picked this up a while ago and it sat through most of the winter and then just sold right now, which is so interesting, in February, but it sold for $60. From that, we make $48. Again, it was a Goodwill outlet pickup where you pay by weight. And so this was about $2 for me to pick up. So $46 net profit. This is making me want to go to the bins again. I love going to the bins and I feel like you guys like it when I go there. So maybe I should do it again. It does take a lot of time and effort and usually makes my back hurt, but it's so much fun, right? Okay, next up, this pair of Barney's New York Co-op Italian leather burgundy harness Western boots, size 6. These are gorgeous. I got these at the Grace Church thrift store. So it's like a church thrift store. I love their mission. But I got these, I think this was the end of winter last year I bought these. And so I've had them for about a year. But because they were doing like a summer sale or something, I got these, I think, for like $4 or something, like really little. So, but then they sold, I sat on them for a year, but then they sold for $65. From 65, we make $56.04. So about $50 of net profit on that pair of boots, which is great. Then here's an exciting find. Here's a swimsuit that sold for $70, okay? A one-piece swimsuit. This is a Heidi Klein Monaco plunging halter V-bar one-piece swimsuit in burgundy, size medium. I bought this while we lived in Maryland. I've been holding on to this for at least 2 years. It's taken a hot minute to sell, but this was a great brand of swimsuit. I'm sure if I went back and did my keywords differently and titled it differently, it probably would have sold faster. You just kind of learn in this business. I've been learning as I go. As I teach others, I'm teaching myself too. But this finally sold, and it sold for $70. So from 70, we make $56. I believe I would have paid about $3 for this at the maximum. So $53 of net profit is great. Now this next piece is, I believe, another bins pickup. This is a vintage Irish hand-knit chunky cream fisherman sweater, men's size large. This was sold on Poshmark for $85. From $85, we make $68. If this is not from the Goodwill outlet, then it is from a Goodwill. Either way, let's just factor in the cost of goods at $4, $64 of net profit. Anything that is chunky like this, the chunkier the knit, the better. And anything that is Irish or hand knit, Irish hand knit especially, does so well. It doesn't even matter usually what the brand is. I don't think this piece had necessarily a brand that I was really like, ooh, I love that. It was more so just the style of it, and the style of it sold it. And this wasn't up for very long. I don't think I had this listed for more than a month or two before it sold. Okay, another sale that took a longer time to sell, but something, again, I picked up while I lived in Maryland, so a couple years ago, but it's this JS Collections Black Mermaid Tulle ball gown in a size 12. It had these rosettes on it. Beautiful, stunning dress. It sold for $85, I believe on Poshmark as well. And then from $85, we make $68. I believe I paid $7.99 for this dress. So about $60 of net profit is awesome. And this is how I was able to really, in total, I sold 49 items, I believe, this month on a mixture of Poshmark, eBay, Mercari, and Depop. And 21 of those sales were over $50, which is how this average sales price is really working out in my favor. So I really feel good about these sale prices. Next up, the next 4 sales are all around $100 or more. So this piece sold the same day I had it listed. I did have this piece in my home for, I would say, 4 years, not listed. I had this Tory Burch purse sitting in my office. It had the security tag still attached to it. It's the bane of my existence. I bought it at a Buffalo exchange. They didn't take off the security tag. I got it while I was in Philadelphia. I didn't live in Philadelphia. So by the time I got home and realized it was still attached, I couldn't go back and have it taken off. It's literally just sat staring me in the face with its freaking security tag on it for years. And then I had my small group over the other night from my church, and one of the dudes just like snapped off the security tag for me with like pliers. Long story long, I got the security tag off. Next day, I took pictures of it, and it sold the same day. Oh, it's so horrible. Tory Burch Robinson double zip tote micro purse and rose sachet. Sold it in one day for $96. I have no idea how much I paid for it at this point. It's been sitting around for 4 years, but I sold it for $96. We made $76.80. I assume if I bought it at a Buffalo exchange, it probably was on sale. So right around probably 10 to 20 bucks is where I'm thinking I paid. So around $50 net profit. But yeah, she's a story. That one is definitely a story. And then we have this beautiful Badgley Mishka brown silk organza animal print one shoulder gown in a size 4. Beautiful dress. I found that at my local Goodwill. They charged me $7.99 for this. and it sold for $120 on eBay. From that, we make $102.37. So I make about $95 net profit from that dress. I loved this piece. It was beautiful. It was elegant. I was able to find a picture of a celebrity wearing it. Beautiful piece. Loved that. Great sale. Then you guys would have seen this sale if you watched my thrift and ship with me video, where I sold this pair of Salvatore Ferragamo women's Pisa calf hair leather ankle boots in a size 8. I sold these in the international shipping program on eBay, and they sold for $299.25. So literally 75 cents short of $300, giving us $262.35 of profit. And I bought these for $7.99. So I paid $7 to make $255 of net profit on a single item. So good. Those are the sales, like, I wish I had those more frequently. This is not the norm for me, y'all. I feel like on the whole, I feel like I am a seller of the people. Like, I don't have these crazy sales. That was a crazy sale. That is an outlier in my personal selling journey for sure. And the next one is too, which honestly, I thank you guys, my viewers, for this. I mentioned this briefly in my eBay selling tips video that I put out this last month, but my biggest sale of the month is an absolutely insane style-based pickup. I showed this children's item. I filmed a video showing all of the kids pieces that I have thrifted for our future children. I'm on an adoption journey. My husband and I are looking to adopt. I've been thrifting and collecting clothing for foster care. Anyways, it's a long story, but I showed every piece that I've thrifted. In that video, I showed this pair of vintage New Tags Teletubbies overalls that had a matching shirt that goes underneath it. Y'all, people came in those comments and were like, Bekah, like, that's worth good money. And thank you so much for doing that. That's what I needed to hear. When I looked at the sold comps for this piece, I was like shocked. I was flabbergasted. I had no idea why this was such a thing. I tell you, Jeremy and I were like, yep, we're gonna sell those. So I took pictures, got the pictures up, took measurements, and within the first few minutes, like, I had so many people asking me questions. I have messages. I have people trying to get them for a lower price. I put it up on eBay for $399.99. So I listed it at $400 and I didn't allow any offers. I was like, okay, based on the comps, it should sell for this. But I was weak, and a couple hours into it, somebody offered me $350 and I accepted that. I was like, okay. Technically, they messaged me and asked me if I would take that, and then I sent them a $350 offer, and then they accepted that. But oh my gosh, guys, $350 for an 18-month-old New Tags vintage 2000s Teletubbies embroidered overalls and t-shirt set. Somebody's 2-year-old's gonna wear this for like 3 months. Like, I don't understand how it's worth that much money, but I paid $5 for that at Goodwill. And it sold for $350. This sold on eBay. So we made $305.28 after fees. And so $300 net profit on this piece. Absolutely insane. And as soon as the piece got to their home, they also messaged me. And you guys know that feeling when you get a message after you sell something, you're like, oh gosh, something went wrong. They hate it. They're gonna return it. I thought I was gonna get this piece returned. Instead, they were just letting me know that they loved it, that they're very happy with their purchase. They're grateful that I sold it to them. And I was like, I will for sure keep on selling you $300 pairs of Teletubbies overalls. If I can get that kind of response, I love it. So yeah, those are my best sales of the month. I sold about $3,000, $3,009 to be exact, of clothing online, a few home goods probably here and there. Actually, I don't think I did this month, just kidding. I did mostly clothing, shoes, accessories, things like that. And I loved it. It was so much fun. But again, my first month that eBay has surpassed Poshmark. I used to only be on Poshmark. I still have at least, I would say, 1,000 more listings on Poshmark than I do on eBay. And yet eBay overtook Poshmark this month. If that is not a sign to you that you guys need to start cross-listing, if you haven't been cross-listing, I don't know what will be. So yes, again, thank you to the sponsor of today's video, Vendoo, for working with me. And I really do suggest you guys check them out. I know I talk about them all the time, but I really do use them every single day, at least twice a day. I mean, hours. I use them all day, every day. And they really have changed my business. They really have made my life easier, and I appreciate them so much. So use that link down below to get 25% off your first month, and I don't think you're gonna regret it. Let me know down below if you guys had a great sale that you wanna share with us. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys are having an amazing day. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. And until the next video, bye.